put the white junk paste stuff on my nose? Perfect. I thought that's what that was, and I love it. And the color on the shorts is also perfect. That's my favorite. That's some of my favorite looking Hawaiian shorts.
By the way, you really fucked me over when you said you wanted Hawaiian shorts. I'm like, shit.
What happened to those? Wait, actually, I thought it was.
By the way, Jones, you are cutting off now and again.
Yeah, I was.
Cut again.
Why am I cutting off right now?
Not right now.
Hello?
Nope, you're good, brother.
Start is at the start of the sentence, but then I have to check my mic sensitivity because I redid my I had a firmware update on my headset.
It was mid-sentence.
Okay, that's weird. Let's see. That's much three. Oh, that was the kitchen.
For anybody who's wondering what Hawaiian shorts look like, that's a Hawaiian short.
Shit.
Yeah. Fine. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
I mean, there are people who say thighs are my religion, so not too far-fetched. But you know what the twist is? Then it turns out that the actual god is thighs for Davis.
Did you just say thighs Medeas?
Yes. I did it. There's nothing you can do to stop me.
I can't even expunge that from my ear canal. It was so dirty. From both of you.
But oh so right.
Okay, I prepared remove curse for a reason. Why did I prepare remove curse? What was I gonna remove curse on?
It was probably that
Was the cauldron?
father.
No, we already did that. No, I think it was an item. I just can't remember what the item was. Was it the cauldron? No, I don't think so.
It was the cauldron, it's not cursed.
I got something dangerous could happen with it. What was it? Why the fuck did I prepare remove curse? Because I did it for a reason and I don't remember why. There's something that was.
Did you find anything?
There's some sort of like item. It wasn't the cloud. I feel like because you said something when I did identify on the cauldron that like certain things put into it could make things bad. Was it the cauldron? I can't remember.
It's the cauldron. Was there something else we found with the cauldron?
Was it the oh?
Yeah, it was the next one.
That's what it was. It was the broom. It was the broom. That's what it was. It was the broom. That's why it's because I don't know if anyone's out at a broom flying to their inventory. 'Cause I know I haven't, so that's probably what it was. Why did I not write that down?
Yeah, there was something about the broom. Because we needed to remove the curse on the broom before we used it. Hey, Jake?
Oh.
Isn't that like Tuesday where you come from? Everyday occurrence.
good.
Sick.
I am sorry.
Oh no, I just wanted to make sure
Just
you've
eating
done something.
dinner.
No, no, no. Feel free to. I just want to make sure you're still here for us.
I figured it'd be a bad idea to eat corn on the cob with the mic on.
Mm.
Guess what? Yeah, that's fine.
She's a lot more considerate than I am.
Anyway. Oh fuck! I gotta ban something. Hold on.
Background music.
Yes. It's like the same. It's like the sections.
Okay.
But, okay. I think this is the last time you guys have made your way down to East Haven. You can continue a search for Luca be pestering the eastern towns. Do you return all this empty offer for the ones near Conic and outside of Frozen Berry? After reaching East Haven, execution such, burning a stake, presumably a wizard, and kills with adventurous. She told you that if you did want help, in time you could go looking for three fishermen that left the town about a week ago in order to try and go on some less fished waters, I guess, to try and get some better hauling to hand return. In return, I think you were promised either presumably what was in Spellbook was, or a chain. It was like a chain shirt that they found in the ashes of the bonfire. Going out to investigate, had to deal with a few different kind of creatures and monsters. Going back, discovering and tuning to this great club of the frost giant he found frozen in the water there. But eventually killing a hag and a frost giant skeleton kept maybe minion as such, and recovering this rather large cauldron that seemed to have the power to simply just almost make mules out of just water. You recovered your room. On looking around the cave a bit more, you found some odd things. Nothing tremendously of note. You made your way back to East Haven, making your way along the ice around the dock, the frozen dock of the town, and ignoring everyone, hugging and putting the cauldron inside the rooms. We're gonna slightly retconny something. Because I was meant to do it, but I didn't because I was dumb. We're just gonna reckon that you guys have put the pot in your room, and you'd just be coming back down, deciding on what to do, and coming back down from your rooms into the main part, the main common. As you do so, prepared to set out what you're going to do for the rest of the day, you come into the one room to find there's a halfling man sat up to the bar, arguing with the bartender, bartender. You hear them, but as soon as you kind of most of you step into the room, the halfling sort of puts his hand up between the two of them, and turns around, just look at all of you. You can see his eyes are open, though they're both just flushed white. You can maybe kind of make out the very, very faint black pupils in his eyes. For anyone, pretty much all you can tell, he looks completely blind. This is a very common aspect of the property of complete blindness. But he turns to you all and kind of points and says, "Right. You've heard her, haven't you? You've heard the White Lady." And he jumps off his stool and honestly, even in his short form, runs up to him. And it's strange because, usually blind people they can struggle with their movement sometimes and things, and to figure out the environment before moving around. He seems to have no trouble at all. Being able to almost like look you all in the face. He seems to instinctually know where they are. She's spoken to you all, hasn't she?
Like who?
White Lady. White Lady of Lackdinshire. They can hear it. They can see it.
Honest with you, my friend, I'm not sure I know what you're referring to. Hey, can we take a break real quick? Because what are we talking about?
Some of us.
Whatever it is, but like.
Some of us heard a voice.
Did we hear a voice? Who heard a voice?
I did. And Doc, I think? I want to say Doc, but I could be wrong. No, Doc was sleeping. Maybe it was Layla.
You mean in the cave?
Yeah, I think it was us two that heard it.
I thought we all heard
Oh,
whispers.
I heard something while I was on watch, didn't I?
That's what it was, yeah. I couldn't remember. There's only a few of us that did.
I apologize, Biscuit. I just wanted to make sure.
It's okay.
I'm trying to figure out if I got to prepare to roll a deception or what, because I'm like I can't remember this.
Yeah. Wait. How does this guy now know that we heard the voice? Did someone say something?
That's where we're.
That's where we're at.
Where this goes.
Okay, I look at this guy. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm sorry to disappoint you, but we have the slightest idea what you're talking about.
Have any of you been hearing voices lately?
No.
A woman. Make me a deception, Martin.
Yeah.
Delius is like kind of like
Taking over.
half like
Oh no.
halfway between a nod and just looking at the
Come on,
guy
shoot
curiously.
inside.
He's blind, so he's got a disadvantage on his insight, right?
That's bullshit.
I know, but it was worth a try.
Many things can give away.
Whether you want to tell me or not, I know who she's spoken to. I see her often.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm so sorry. If you hear voices, I would kindly ask you to go to the next medical practitioner and ask them for advice, because as far as I'm concerned, hearing voices isn't the normal thing if you aren't a cleric of some church and apparently your god has taken a liking to you. And forgive me for saying that you don't quite strike me as a wielder of divine magics.
I think
Well, go ahead.
Dalius just says telepathically to Gideon, like, why are we hiding this? Telepathically. To Gideon.
Gideon's got nothing yet.
Okay, fair. Good.
Whether you want to tell me the truth or not, so I can't force you anything.
Okay, look. Let's say I heard this voice, just to pique your curiosity of yours. The name would be helpful, cause, you know, voices usually come from people. As you might have noticed, I have quite the entourage I travel with.
It's the
But
voice
what
of
you describe-
the White Lady. The White Lady of Actinish.
Do I actually know in character what this place is? What is
You know what Lactinishire is. Lactinishire is the lake that surrounds East Haven here and on out to the map.
The White Lady Inn.
Lake Dinishia. Oh, okay, he's talking about this lake.
Yes.
So it's the lady of the lake, basically. Yeah,
So,
like.
I put my hand on
this.
Martin's shoulder and say, "Hold on a second, Martin. I'm sorry. Is there some sort of story that goes with the Lady of the Lake here in East Haven? I've never heard of such a legend,
Hell,
or a story, or you know, I'm not saying it's not true. I've just never heard this story."
you don't see him around here long. And about it, yeah, you don't say. You say it every other day. When preaching about it. Got your little seances going on in the back room. And he turns around. Halfling turns around. Yes, we talked to her though. And we value this place very thankfully about it. Thank you.
What?
Well,
Doesn't like.
no.
Oh, he
thanked
thanks-
Barberton.
He thanked the bartender, Martin. It's okay, not you.
Yeah, because I was confused for a second. I was like, I didn't do anything. I haven't stole his money yet.
Give us a minute. We have to steal his money, then he thanks us.
It's
Yeah,
not
but
often it's not often I meet someone who's also spoken to as a hero. But if you would like the chance to speak to her, I hold a seance here. In fact, there should be one scheduled for tonight. This evening, in the back room of this inn.
Well, thank you for the offer. We'll see how our schedule comes out, and maybe we'll join you. I would like. Tell you what, we've got some business we have to take care of, my friend. Go ahead and we'll talk with you later about this. How's that?
Of course. If you can't, then I hope to see you another day. Hopefully you may join us. Little ritual.
Problem. In the meantime, I tell you what, Brox, can you get this man a drink for me? And I flip him a gold piece.
Guys.
Did I lose you again?
Oh, sorry. Flip Martin gold piece.
Barton.
Barnabas.
Bartender.
Barnabas.
Oh, Barberton.
Sorry.
Bartman. God, this name's awful. I hate this name. Bartman. That's how it's called.
Bartsman, if you would be so kind, I'd like to buy this man a drink. Sir, Bartman will get you set up in the bar.
It always does. And the halfling goes into walls up and just nimbly hops up onto the top of the stool. His Bartman just goes sighs and goes and gets a drink.
It may take some more looking into on another day, my friends.
Oh no. This guy's fishing. We have no we have enough on our plate already. Can I remind you about the dwarves?
Well, I said another day.
I just say telepathically to Gideon, in a little time I may have a way to see what's more on his mind. But I need time. I said that telepathically.
I give a small nod. A nod of recognition. With that though, Martin,
Wait.
were you coming with us to see the captain? Or were you staying?
Obviously I will, because I trust none of you to actually bargain a fair price for the hassle we had.
Fair enough, my friend. Daly says that you were coming with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Layla, you and Doc, we're gonna keep an eye on things on the ferry and on Kane's new pot. With that, I think let's go ahead and break, and we'll head down and talk to the captain and finish off the business for today. And we can talk about tonight's business once we get back. Unless somebody has something else.
No, that sounds good to me.
What we'll do Captain Gang first. So Bailey's, Gideon, Martin, can begin to head back to the town hall. Captain said should be posted. And you soon find yourself outside the black barge of a bit of melted snow still kind of sits in the middle of the town square, though begin to be covered with a bit more of a softer covering, a frosting. You're in front of the town hall.
So we
I think our way to the door, or at least Doc or Gideon will make his way to the door.
do as follows.
Would you like to do?
Head on in.
Yep.
Which I think the dozen want. You head on into the very similar kind of room, the staircase going up a bit and splitting off to two, a small balcony that has two doorways. Go further into the building, a door on your right, and then a series of paintings of the town and the lake around it on the left. Well, they're more like tapestries, but it's behind you. There's no one to greet you.
Nope. There's no one.
There's nobody down here at the usual post where somebody usually is.
There wasn't anyone usually here.
Follow the direction I saw the captain come from last time.
The last time she was in the.
I think she came down the stairs, from one of those doors.
She was in the right door.
So I go to the right door and give it a knock as I walk in.
And you hear a voice from inside, recognizing it to be Captain. Yes, who is it? You can come in.
Captain Skiddy again.
Oh.
I've got both Martin and Delius here with me. We have a report for you.
Yes, you went to go. Are they alive?
Unfortunately, I have bad news, Captain.
Not so
Not
much.
only are they not alive, I was unable to bring back their remains. At first, we ran into a group of harpies and we thought they might have been victims of them. But we were successful at dispatching the harpies, only to find out that in a cave, and I kind of talk landscape and all that to get so she knows which cave I'm talking about. Inside the cave, we found a hag who had a storm giant skeleton under her control, and she had turned them into a meal.
Has the hag been dealt with?
Hag has been dealt with, as well as the storm giant. It was a little heavier
giant,
issue
frost
than I.
giant.
Yeah, sorry, frost giant.
Just make sure you knew.
It was a little heavier issue than we thought we were going to have, but everything has been dealt with.
You know how they went at least?
If I were to guess, I would say they went peacefully, but what happened to them afterwards was very odd. I wish I could have something to return to their families. There are some bones there, but I know not enough of bones to say what belonged to who or what. I figured if you all have somebody who's got better medical knowledge, maybe they can go and find it out of the areas we could. I would be careful. There's a male and a female dire wolf in the caves as well above, taking care of some young. We did not hurt them. They were just they were a mother and father protecting their little ones.
Shame, some shall we pray some of our cattle at some point, but nevertheless, the job has been done. If anything, I must thank you for dealing with the hag. Right,
I'm
well,
sorry for your town's loss.
no, it is okay. I am used to it at this point. She can sniffles and gets up. I'm guessing you're wanting your reward.
I believe we're at that point.
Let me see. So correctly, regarding the have a choice between two books, an elf chainmail or a wizard spellbook. Did I recall this correctly?
I mean, I'm not 100% sure on the origins as such. The chainmail was left behind in the ruins of the fire, and the book was confiscated from the man. It seems like some magical gibberish. She seems very kind of almost like deflated at this point, and just
Give Martin's shoulder a little squeeze to say, easy, but not too easy.
I don't care. I want Daley to have a look at the spellbook so we can ascertain.
Well, we
if it's
already
any
knew that was going to happen.
if you want.
Yeah, well, you're the chaotic good person. I'm the chaotic neutral person. Okay. If you want to help her with her feelings, you're free to do so.
Anyway,
So,
If you want, I can just take you into my level of store and spend time looking at them before you make a decision.
this is my
Sounds like a good idea.
yes.
Well, follow me. It's just up the steps. She kind of waves as she's like gonna come out the door. I guess, by the way, just for notice, there is like another door like across the room from you that seems to lead like back into the town hall. But she's directing you to go out the one you came in from.
Grab the
And
door
she
forward and hold it.
makes her way through. She makes me up the stairs and over to the left.
Wow.
There's a landing at through kind of another door. She gestures you all forward.
Follow along.
As well.
You go down a small corridor with on either side is a single door on either side to lead into more rooms. But a far door on the other end. Go through it, and you come to a small landing that looks over a larger chamber at the back. On the other side of this chamber is another landing that must come out from another door at some point in the upstairs. And on that side there is there's like a rudimentary crane and like some flapper doors, and there are like kind of crates and barrels of things stacked all around this balcony. However, she begins to go up some more stairs at the other end of this balcony, the left side of the yard. However, it does instantly strike all of your attention that at the base of this large room stands a statue of some kind. It's taking a second to look at it. It isn't long before you all realise that this statue is not made of a stone. It's not quite made of ice. It's made of a very what looks to be made of that. Well,
That black crystal.
the gem, yeah, the black crystal. I suppose a charred. However, it still looks to be darker, like the big spires we found out in the country.
Could be
Not like
Captain.
the more clearer bits that we broke adjusted for the shape of it. It's in the shape of kind of almost this like kind of large demonic-like creature. Though they're not kind of, it's more bluntly chiseled. You see it has big bearing hands, wings on its back, a large tail, and almost it almost looks a bit like a cow-like face with large horns wrapped under its head a little bit. It's about 10 feet high and about 5 feet kind of wide. It can sit on it's like a stone pedestal, almost like raising up as if it's like ready, maybe like ready for battle or something, do some kind of rock or crime. However, in addition to this, maybe what strikes us even more is there is a completely naked and extremely pale white hair that goes all the way down her back and all down her face, almost like half climbing, half almost like possibly caressing this statue. She makes no noise as she does it.
There is somebody actually physically there?
Yes, there's this white lady, this lady completely naked, almost like white pale skin, this long white hair that comes down probably like her waist, and it's like all drooped over her face, and she's like obviously climbing and kind of like caressing this statue.
First off, do I recognize the demon that the statue has been carved into?
History on nature.
I would like to
I'll go
roll that as
history.
well.
Actually, they're the same, so. Come on.
Stop the captain.
Damn it!
Pardon me, Captain. This is some unusual artwork you have here. Can you tell me the story?
Yes, certainly, sorry. Well, and I guess quickly, for you two, Dalius, it's kind of hard to make out, there isn't like a lot of features being craved into it. You can make out basically like eyes, but, and where hands would be, but it's not extremely detailed. It certainly looks fearsome and possibly not of this world, or if so, certainly something you wouldn't want to try to, if you can imagine whatever this is depicting, it's probably a lot larger than its actual depiction. Martin,
Yes.
this bears quite a resemblance to possibly some kind of demon, devil. Most likely one of a higher, given like one of the higher rankings.
But it's not an arch.
It might be. It's not one that you would recognize. Archdemons tend to usually have some kind of defining factor, whereas this almost just looks...
Plain.
It doesn't look boring, but you kind of get what I
Plain.
mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very way. Definitely something...
Not a
Definitely
archdevil or
not
a
very nice.
demon running one of the planes of the abyss, but somebody with some power.
mean, as for Lady, whoever this is, that you really recognise her. You haven't seen her before.
I think. Delius's eyes are kind of watching her carefully.
Yeah, she makes no sound. She just she doesn't seem to, except you kind of hear giggling and small laughter and almost kind of almost like soft moaning, though it doesn't come directly from her, almost kind of from just kind of different parts around your peripheral earshot, sometimes it's less, sometimes or it's like something from, around her, something from right behind you. It's very odd and does slightly remind it's in a very much likeness to the voices you heard in the cave. The captain turns around and second, I should get the right thing. Yeah, she turns around and it is some strange statue or something. Some of the adventures, I think actually the ones that the wizard unfortunately killed, dragged it up from the lake a few months ago. They were hoping to get a reward as much for it. I mean, it's rather odd and quite off-putting, to be honest. I don't think they got quite what they were set out for. The speaker has a... Well...
She doesn't notice the lady at all, does she?
I was gonna say, yeah, did she notice the lady climbing the statue? Pressing?
If she does, she pays no attention to it. She pays no
Gotcha. Great, only something we can see.
Lovely.
It's like yes, the speaker doesn't like it too much. Apparently, maybe has some kind of magics inflicted upon it, curse some kind, and just wants to keep it out of public eye and back here and all the staff to keep away from it.
I'd like to give you a warning. I'd like to give you a warning, Captain. I'm familiar with the material that is made of. The blackness is almost alive inside of there. And if it breaks, that blackness can cause tremendous damage and can curse an individual. It's something I would be very cautious of, and I would get it out of your city as soon as you can.
It's not like we exactly have the manpower to move it.
I can make some inquiries about some people that may be able to take it out of here safely if you'd like.
I'll bring it up with the speaker. It is really his business overall, after all. I'm just here to make sure nobody gets too close to it because he's asked me and defend the town.
Have you heard reports of people in the tundra with almost black frostbite lake markings on them?
No, we tend to just stay away from the town. There's enough problems as it is.
There is a belief that the substance inside of that is what caused that disease to happen to them. And something this size with that much could infect your whole town. That's why I say you should be careful.
Well, it's been here for some few months.
And I'm sorry for eating so much of your time.
No, well, yeah, thank you, and I'll bring it up to the speaker. I'm sure, well, he'll be maybe somewhat relieved that his suspicions were true. And maybe he'll put more into more haste towards getting it removed.
After you, Captain. And I continue to follow her.
The rest of them.
I think Delius lingers for a second watching the woman. Does she do anything different or just the same thing?
I move immediately. I'm more interested.
This is like a second. and then he follows.
So, following up, you reach kind of the pinnacle of the building, where what would be like a loft or something, but it seems to be converted to actual what you use, I guess. At this end, we take something about half the length of the building. Is looks to be almost like a small library with a few bookshelves, a few chests placed around, a small table with a few books and candles. There's a doorway that leads, a single doorway that leads further, almost like back towards the front of the building. Well, yeah, maybe there's like more. Looks, give me a moment. She brings out a set of keys and goes over to one which is opposite, and you're kind of rifling through a few things before pulling out this very, very nice looking chainmail. Doesn't have quite like the slightly darker grey colour of steel. If anything, almost looks like it's maybe a bit more like a silver. It has a number of almost like patches and like symbols that are being like woven into its chains and placed around it. And she lays out an alternative. Hold on, we'll go fetch the book. And she puts chest down and skims her hand through a series of books before finding one. It's a red book. It's old, tattered, and even the pages have gone yellow. She pulls it out and puts it down. Feel free to inspect them, and to be honest, if you can give us any insight into what they may do or their value, it would also be greatly appreciated.
I'll reach for the spell book first and flick through it.
Yeah. The spell book is well used.
Mm-hmm.
And as you begin to look through it, it's a combination of kind of some arcane research towards very basic spells, such like a few level 1-ish, maybe 2-ish kind of, but nothing complete. Research on kind of just general kind of magical lore, but probably some of which you kind of already know about, just general magical theories and things like that. And then kind of some kind of short stories and nonsense poetry and other things like that. All written in the same hand, roughly, though some bits are in just like different hands.
Okay, after that she said we can inspect it, so I'm just gonna, really sure I actually prepared it. Just say, do you mind if I take a little bit of time with this chain to fully look it over?
Don't mind, it's being here and my watch.
That's fine. He just pulls out his pearl and ritually cast Identify on it.
Richard Castle. Wilson, is there anything Gideon or Martin would like to translate?
So we see how she flips through the pages of a book and then
Yeah.
goes to the chamber, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you guys would probably notice
So
that.
there
You
it
guys
is.
would even see like the parts of that they're quite magical things. But some go ahead.
Yes, I see you have finished the book for now.
By all means.
Is it potentially of use regarding the spell?
There are it's a kind of amalgamation of things. Spells in it seem to be incomplete and very base level. A little bit of other magical research. I'm not entirely certain. It's good knowledge, though.
So no spells, but some magical research that is hard to decipher. Did I understand this correct?
Some stuff I've seen. I always favor knowledge, but we shall see.
I favor a good reward, so I'll let you take a peaceful look at the chain.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's Elvin, my friend.
It's chain.
Look at that metal, though. It's almost... I wonder if it's mithril.
The elves and everything wrong. Go on.
I'm just thinking it might be a dwarven make.
But we don't know yet. I mean,
Oh,
I'm a
it-
smith.
I take a closer look at the markings on the chain while she's looking at the book.
Yeah.
Oh, while he's looking at the book.
Yeah.
Are they dwarvish in make? I speak dwarven.
Okay, speak more. Can you make me a search? What languages do you speak?
Common,
What language-
dwarven,
Go on, sorry.
common, dwarvish, infernal, and orc.
Okay. Dalius, what language do you speak?
Common, giant, and infernal.
And Martin, what language do you speak?
Celestial, elvish, and abyssal.
You take a look at the markings and symbols themselves don't look elvish. If you can make me a history check. However, Martin, you take some time looking over it. They do look. You do recognize some elvish.
Okay, they don't look dwarvish.
No, they don't look dwarvish. In fact, Martin can recognize some of the symbolisms and some of the markings. They do look elvish. So Martin can make me a history check with advantage.
Boy, let's see.
That -2 or -4 for you?
Look at it. Amazing.
Some people
Plus
say
20.
elvish, which leads you to believe it's likely elven, but obviously we're unsure and we don't really know what. They're probably kind of more symbols. Maybe there's like a few words that are kind of like symbols that you don't quite recognize, like the true meanings of, things like that. Maybe to do with like you just don't recognize them. Gideon, obviously it's not dwarvish. You try to recognise that's trying to think. 14. You probably recognise and remember that kind of some of the symbols you saw around. Remember the Elvish tomb you went into?
Yeah.
Some like symbols like the symbol of kind of the full moon and the like the fully the completely oh my god, I've got the words. Like the
The
full
different
moon
phases
and
of the moon.
and the non the moon. You recognise a few of them. You see it. You recognise those. When you look around of like markings you saw like some of the statues or like on like the coffin or some of the standing stones, you probably recognise some of them similar to that as well.
Martin, I believe I owe you an apology, my friend. I think you were right. I think these markings here
Have
almost
some,
exactly match the tomb that we were at a while back with the moose. Just as long as we don't have the moose.
Let Daedalus finish up his
Yeah, just something for us to do while Daedalus does his
investigation
work.
about potential beneficial properties of the chain and then make a decision.
Yep.
Though you do kind of manage to get through Dahlia's, the process of this 10 minutes of you preparing the ritual and casting a spell isn't quite peaceful, at least not for you. You can hear from, though mostly almost coming from down the stairs, though you sometimes almost like hear it as if it was up in the room with you. You hear the giggling and the laughing of this woman, and it's rising, maybe ecstasy or something, something of similar. This one just begin to get louder, and you kind of occasionally hear phrases such as, and you're going to have to give me a moment while I just make sure I get this right. Hear the phrase. I've seen your wealth. I've seen your power.
Wait, who she's talking to?
She doesn't seem... Well, you can't tell if she's talking to somebody. Just the all three kind of hear it. Don't you want more? Come free me. I'm so lonely. Please. She sounds weirdly like desperate, almost as if she's enjoying it. It's very odd and it's quite off-putting, but it's things similar to that. Intrigues and promises of power and wealth to come free her, that she's not far away.
She's talking to us, so...
I looked to the captain and I said, "Hey, Captain, I heard a curious tale earlier today of a white lady. Do you know anything of this? Something of voices, people hearing voices. Do you know the legend?"
Voices? Well, I know there's the local legend of the White Lady of the Lake. Like Dennis, yeah. See, make sure I get this story right as well. Because that's a different section.
This gives Dalius time to do his spell.
Where's this going?
Try and concentrate through it.
Dropped into an area you hadn't prepared for?
No, I had, but I forgot.
Okay.
I tried to find the bit where it tells me about it because it's in a different section. I've slightly forgotten where it is. Oh, here we go, yes. Yes, it was it was a speaker in a few past. One of the founding speaker, or maybe one of his sons or such. I'm quite unsure, but someone very powerful and very not quite wealthy, but ran the town when it was the beginning. He had well, he was a, oh my god, just check it, I've got through my miser.
M-I-S-E-R?
Yes,
Miser.
it's like someone who holds
Miserly, yeah.
power.
Yeah.
He was a miser and often kept his most valuables locked in a heavy chest. He rarely parted sides with them. As the story goes, he had a wife who he never really gave anything to, try as she must. She never received as much love or really any of his wealth. So as much love as he gave his own wealth.
Not like this man.
You would, Mark.
Of course I would.
When his time, not even before his time really, but the people of the town honestly didn't like his hoarding of wealth without him spending any of it. Routing on the town, he took his wife out onto the lake with his chest. Well, no one really knows what happened once. The boat was found out there some days later, capsized. Even the man in the chest nor his wife were found again. As the legend goes, that she still haunts the town. She's going to reveal herself to maybe people she believes that can rescue her and the treasure possibly, or people who can grant her the wealth and power she always wanted, maybe for the love she always wanted. I think there's been a few people say they've seen it, and I don't believe any of it. Why have you...
Story.
Have you had one of these preachers...
We ran into a man today who mentioned her, and it just seemed that, you know, we're new to the 10 towns, and this is going to be our home. I figured, you know, let's find out as much as we can about the area. It's a very fascinating tale. No, he wasn't giving us a hard time or asking for money or anything like that. Just mentioned her in passing.
Do you mind me asking where?
It was over by, I want to say over by the ferry.
Ferry. Makes sense, I guess. Thing's been out of the commission for a while. Cyclone's been having a hard time with it.
He also mentioned something about strange noises from the ferry. Does that sound familiar or anything you've heard about that?
Strange noises? I have no idea, no.
I thought maybe the two were connected in some way. I don't know.
Possibly.
It's,
I
you know...
could go and give it a look later on. Sorry, I have a few duties to do first beforehand.
Oh, no problem. Like I said, you know, I've got that investigative mind. I'm always trying to put things together that don't necessarily go together until I find out they don't.
It really wouldn't surprise me if some of the less fortunate citizens here have bundled up there or something of the sort. I will go check in later.
I tell you what,
I'm sure
Captain, I mean, I understand that you're very busy. If you'd like, we could go check the ferry for you.
What do we want to check?
The ferry again.
I'm trying to get us legal permission to do what we have to do later.
Well, you
No, I smell it. It's a food from the one.
can prove your worth if you wish to.
We'll take care of the ferry for you. That's
Might want to go
the least
talk
we
to-
can do to lighten your load. I've brought you enough bad news today.
Thank you. If you want to go talk to Simon, I believe he's held up in the wet trout side of town.
If I could beg a favor of you, you just give me a little written notice with your seal on it, so if anybody asks, I can say we're here on your behalf.
Of course, I will just go fetch some paper from downstairs and be right back.
Thank you, Captain.
Get in when you wish to.
We'll stay here, and Dalius is still doing his thing.
Okay. She leaves, and it's probably about halfway past this time that Dalius, you know, these sound the sounds and the voices from it don't let up. They don't get, it's not like any it's like a horror movie, like screaming ghost kind of thing, but it's definitely noticeable, off-putting. But you do complete the identifying. And this is in fact a piece of elven chain, I believe it's called. It's the magic item. It's indeed an elven chain.
I think if I complete it before she comes back, I assume?
Yeah, you completed it.
I think I need to say, well, this is definitely, it's lights, it's piece of armor that someone such as myself or Doc potentially, those of us that don't normally wear armor can wear. It's very light.
Spell. What about the spell book? Anything in it you can use?
I mean, knowledge is knowledge. I could always use knowledge. You never know what you're gonna find.
Which one is, as we go forward, are there spells in there that you could use in combat in the future that would be much more useful than a suit of armor? That's what I'm asking.
You said that any of the spells in there were like not complete, right, Biscuit?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
even the ones that maybe you probably recommend doing like a comprehend language.
Mm.
You know, like
Things I probably already know, basically.
yeah, probably like instantly
Yeah.
be able to identify some bits because you already know them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can make out by the length of which they've gone into that. You know, there's not many pages dedicated to things like
Yeah.
that. They're not complicated.
It's no, none of these spells are things I already have in my repertoire, or they're not complete. And things that
Then I guess
yeah.
the armor would probably be our better choice of the two.
Hmm.
So,
If we can get both, that's awesome. But I agree, the armor is probably the better choice.
So, I guess I just go seal the deal then, and you two can find out next steps ahead.
I guess, no, let's just wait here, Martin, for her to come back with our writ. And that's why I was asking her for that, is I wanted legal backing when we go to the ferry tonight to deal with that issue.
It's almost probably at that point you get to the
You and your issues.
Probably at that point you get to hear the door.
Just think, all the Duergar, or all the, all the Duergar armor we will be able to find, and their weapons, and all the stuff you could sell.
I'm just saying, you know, letting them loose could do wonders for our potential rewards.
But it could also, they could end up taking out anybody who would give us a reward. It's better to take a bird in the hand than two in the bush.
And get all of it.
Bird in the hand instead of two in the bush.
You know, your attitude to help people one day will get you killed, idiot.
More than likely, that's why I keep you here, keep you around, and keep me alive, my friend.
No. As long as you have a coin for it.
With that, though, can we discuss the white lady in the room? Are you guys hearing that as well?
Yes, it was very distracting.
Don't talk about her. That's probably what she wants.
I think we leave that be for now. We can come back to that another day.
I mean, wait.
You're breaking up, brother.
Hello?
There you go. Got you loud and clear now.
Just repeat that sentence.
Can I hear the captain come closer? I'm like, how far would she be closer? Otherwise, I might attempt something.
I mean, I mean, she left not that long ago. You maybe have a little bit.
Okay, so white lady's new, correct?
No.
Oh, we're just hearing her voice.
You're just hearing her voice. It's mostly sound like it's coming from down where she was, but occasionally you do kind of get the bits that's just almost like disembodied.
Okay.
Almost like it's either behind you or like right in your ear or across the room or something.
That's sad. Otherwise, I might have tried something. But oh well, then I guess we'll just wait for the captain to arrive.
Definitely. She's something I think we need to do some more preparing as well for. I am finding that I'm lacking enough magical equipment to handle our battles these days, and I'm sorry.
Just picked up a trusty crossbow. Magic crossbows are like sand beach. On this case, eyes of the sea.
I think I have some ideas that might fix that issue once we get back to Lonewood.
It's a few minutes after that you hear the sounds of doors opening and closing, and soon Imdra is making her way back up the stairs. Sorry about the wait. Just had to find some new ink. The old ink frozen again.
No, no problem. Appreciate it.
Here you go. That should. Well, it just tells the guards to just basically leave you alone. If you do anything really annoying, then come report it to me first.
Fair enough. I'll
Use it.
We'll. Oh no, we're just going to investigate the ferry, and if there's any problems out there, we'll take care of them for you.
Preferably don't kill anyone if you find them.
Oh, Only in
citizens-wise,
only in self-defense.
if you could knock them out, that would be, just mobilize them, that would be preferred. If there's someone
Not a
this
problem.
close to the city causing trouble, then I would like to know about it and talk with them.
If we
It's not
find
sure
something
it's
out there that's not a citizen, you want us to try to bring back a prisoner?
if they could talk, it would be nice, especially if it's not a citizen.
We'll do all we can for you, Captain.
Appreciate it.
I tucked the note into the inside of my coat, in the inside pocket of my coat. With that, I believe we've agreed to take that the armor was probably our best bet. Is there anything else you need from us beyond what we've talked about here?
I don't believe so. She picks up the book and begins to put it back on the shelf. I bid you all a fair day.
And you, Captain. Do you need to walk us out, or are we free to go on our own?
Go as you please, I'll be coming down soon after you. Why, is
So
there
you-
something you wanted to do?
No, I just didn't know if this is your town council. I didn't want to go
You are
somewhere
free to leave.
unescorted if we were
Free to leave
needed
as
to be
you wish.
escorted. Have a beautiful afternoon, Captain. We'll let you know probably tomorrow what we found out about the ferry, unless it's a dire emergency, and I'll be back to see you as soon as we can.
Thank you.
And I'll head for the door.
I guess I probably still have the elven chain in my hands.
I'm assuming
Yeah,
so.
I mean, yeah, if you pick it up.
Yeah.
As you,
Yeah, we fetch it.
as you
Mhm.
kind of pass the balcony again where the statue was, you see that this woman has climbed. It's like all the way up to the top and almost like it's like I want to call it like Gollum, like stance, you know, when you got kind of your knees up to your chest, but you're kind of balancing, and the arms like almost like between your legs to hold you steady.
Yeah.
You don't quite know. Almost as if like she's ready to like pounce or something. But,
So she's basically looking like the girl from The Ring,
yeah, probably.
with white hair instead of with white
and
hair
she,
and no clothes.
Yeah, and she's facing towards all of you as you pass, and she has this. Though the hair covers her eyes, you can see bits of her mouth between it, and it is like a disturbingly wide smile.
Yeah. Tip my hat and I keep going.
Dude, this kind of nods but doesn't take his eyes off her as they walk by.
That you begin to make your way, like just presuming back to the others.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll head back to the White Lady Inn.
So while this whole thing has been going on, so you guys are probably like still on your way there, but we'll go to the other two.
Dr.
you two-
Sabir back too.
Yeah, no worries. Oh wait, you Crab just say you're back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch. What was my friend's noise?
Yeah. I think
Say if you want, we could go ahead and take a break now.
I mean, if everyone would like to, it's fine by me.
Hour and 20 minutes in.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take
Oh,
a break.
he's back.
Is
Oh,
he?
he's never mind. He's back. So ignore my last.
Sorry.
You mean
That's
we
okay,
can
you're
start
fine.
now? No.
No.
I didn't need a break. I was just thinking it'd be a good excuse to get it
Dude,
in, and
yeah.
out of the way.
Literally, it's been like 20 seconds since I just finished up with the others. I mean, if we want break, we can have it now.
no, I'm good.
Need it. I'm good.
I am.
Whatever anybody wants to do.
That Layla and Crab, Layla and Doc, we get to you two being left to keep an eye out, I suppose.
I thought that Layla had to go and investigate a ship or something. Or did we fix that?
You should keep an eye on it.
You
Or
keep
yeah, you
an eye on it.
have to keep an eye.
So I imagine I would be at the docks,
Alright. Be the dogs.
just staring at it.
Gothak, what would you like to be doing?
Remain in the room with
Yeah, keep an eye on
potentially expensive pot and just
it.
lay cross-legged with the new club. So nothing. Sort of meditating, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Barbarian.
I guess make me. Just make like a general wisdom. Just make me a wisdom check. Go for that one. 11.
I guess the wisest boys.
Not terrible. Meditating with the club. You don't get like a vision or anything, but you almost kind of allowing your thoughts to run free with whatever this thing truly is. You kind of get the, almost it's like a bit of like a flashback or a thought to you destroying the frost giant skeleton in such a great display of power, using the club, and almost kind of see yourself defeating more and more stronger and more powerful foes, rising the ranks of something by your show of power, your test of strength, and claiming trophies from those great battles as a show of your great accomplishments, in a very similar way to what you may understand, or maybe the ideas that are implanted to you as you meditate with this, that frost giants do. I guess I'm sure you did like a history check on this, like our last session or something, but frost giants, they're not exactly artisans themselves, they're not real crafters, but they make things out of the enemies they defeat and their supplies, obviously stolen things and stuff like that. And while it's nothing incredible or amazing, it certainly is practical and useful and impressive. It does show, that they made like pickaxes out of mammoth tusks and things like that. Does that all make sense? That's kind of some of the ideas. You're not disturbed in the room with the cauldron. Layla, I would like you to make a perception check, please. Keep an eye on the boat. It's pretty boring to look at, though you keep your attention sharp. You're pretty used to the waiting for prey, being patient about the hunt, things similar. It's what Master taught you. You always be patient to not get overzealous about things. Things will come to you in time if you wait patiently. Nobody really goes out onto the docks. Maybe there's like a few people that kind of walk up and down the street by the docks, but soon turn back into the building, maybe even entering one that's on the dock. But you think, in fact you swear, you hear almost like a rumbling, like a low murmuring rumbling sound, and the sound of soft footprints going across the dock, away from you, going along it, outwards into the lake, though you see no one there.
No, I'm just hearing things.
Possibly.
Layla sniffs the air.
You would probably catch a slightly almost like earthy, almost like mildewy scent. One that you're not completely used to, but recognise. This is definitely more of a lighter and not as concentrated smell of it, but the Durgar fortress that you raided up by a Kirkonic reeked of this smell.
He gives a growl and she's kind of now even more alert. Like her hair is kind of like poofed up.
Yeah. You would probably catch, kind of looking at it, that you do actually see some footprints in, some kind of wider footprints, thicker feet, still round. This is someone wearing a shoe, but wider and thicker footprints going along the snow, along what is a lifeless dock, with all the boats just being frozen completely and solidly in ice. And you probably actually, along this, actually kind of a bit further out to the dock, just using your keen eye, actually kind of see them being pressed into the snow. As almost as like someone's walking down a ghost or it's like invisible.
Layla is going to... No.
Sure. Okay, yeah, I mean, kind of taking your time and going kind of between, almost like a bit under the dock. There's still kind of a bit of a gap between the dock and the ice here. And then you can make a stealth check. 19. You managed to follow the footprints, and these kind of grumbling noises, and as you begin to follow, and almost like catch them a little bit, but still quiet, kind of begin to hear this grumbling murmur. And again, we'll just use a perception. You can hear things of like, really getting tired of this. We should get out of here. There's nothing worth left. Second, should I get a name right here?
Where is the thing?
Sorry, this is what I meant by I'm a bit underprepared.
If I can help.
Here we go. Yes, Earth isn't going to want us to leave anytime soon. He's fixated on this stuff. Let's just hope our sailors cooked up something interesting for this evening. Entirely stolen rations. And at that point, you kind of fall to the end of the dock, and they seem to make their way onto the ferry. The frozen one, that's it. Yeah, the frozen ferry. And you can hear the kind of almost like slight creaks of wood, and maybe kind of like a falling icicle that smashes. If you'd like me to read any of that, please do, because I know I was like weirdly deep and unquiet.
Now I'm just trying to think what Layla actually do in this scenario. Did Gideon ever tell her to report back to the inn? Or just to stay at the docks and watch the boat?
I think as far as you were told, it was just keep an eye on the boat, the cauldron.
On the boat till we yell for you, I think is what Gideon would have said.
I guess she kind of like growls a little bit of frustration. The boat.
all the way back to the dock, or would you like to kind of keep in your hidden position?
Yeah, I'll stay here. I'll just keep an eye on the boat and the boat towards her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you keep a close eye on it from here. You feel pretty confident in your position. You know, you're used to keeping still and waiting for things. So, the rest of you return. I mean, you didn't see Layla go out to the dock to wait, but there's nobody out on the kind of dock or around there.
Give a whistle. A
I'll-
loud, piercing whistle for.
I was gonna say, and Delia's just probably simultaneously doesn't know if she's in range. He's just saying Layla as Layla in his head, directing it towards her if she's in range. 120 feet.
I'm sorry, I might have to do math from here.
It's 100.
I think it was like you would need to know kind of the general direction.
Well, he said as long as I've seen them before, it's just 120 feet. At least because of my intelligence modifier. Because I've seen her before, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and you can visualize. Yeah, sure, that's fine.
That's basically what he said anyway.
Well, as long as I said it, then that's fine by me. That looks. I know it's a bit odd because it just says like the telepathy on the monster,
Yeah.
which isn't the most. It's meant for monsters. It's not meant for police. It's not the most. That's fine. Yeah, maybe you hear a whistle, so they can quick from the shore, and you. Well, I guess that is what I'd say.
I just say Layla, like, kind of timidly, just so I don't freak her out too much. Just
Nobody would
Actually-
see it, but in her spot, like her head perks up, she's looking around.
Oh, actually, sorry, you would not detect.
No? Okay.
You would not. Sorry, I just realized it was 120 feet.
Yeah, no.
Okay, you're like all the way up.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so he's just
Yeah.
saying it, but he doesn't know if she's close enough, so.
You would. I think I didn't say that you don't kind of make the connection. Like you know that no connection's been established.
So yeah, right after the whistle, I yell out Layla's name.
Be able to hear the whistle.
And you can hear the whistle, you hear the shout.
Okay, then she would probably slink back or whatever.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
back
but
to
we'll
the
keep
group.
that stealth check if you're pretty confident in your escape.
And this one here's the ferry, not this
Yes.
one here.
No, I'm pretty
That
confident it's up on the end. I'll just double check.
Couldn't
Yes.
remember if it was. I couldn't remember if it was this one or that one.
Boats, and only one of them is only one of them has of any significance. But yeah, it's that one. So Layla was probably like under the docks, like around here on this corner, so that'll make like around this boat.
Gotcha. Just waiting for Layla to get back. Hoping she's.
Layla-
I'm keeping an eye out because I'm
Yeah.
worried that something
Yeah,
happened to Layla.
you're keeping an eye out, and suddenly you just kind of see Layla just casually walking down the side of the dock. No, well, like the not even like the wooden part of the dock, just kind of the lakefront coming
Gotcha.
from the direction of the dock. You've like no idea. She's just like walking in. This is when she's revealed from her cover.
Just getting good at hiding.
Yeah, pretty
I don't
solid
know if
fight.
I like or don't like that. Can't possibly see that coming back to haunt me in the future.
It's, interesting, yes.
Galila just
Over into the alley here on the side of the inn where we're away from eyes. And look at that. I said, Layla, can you change back? We need to go inside.
She didn't know.
We have some discussion to make.
I don't think she was a wolf, was she?
She tilts her head to the side and then she
Oh, I thought
changes
she
into a
was a-
wolf.
Oh, I thought she was a wolf. This whole
No,
time.
she wasn't.
No.
Oh, sorry. I never mind. Belay that whole last
No,
statement.
she could change into a wolf, that's what she could change back, because you asked her to.
To see the massive hole of the wolf just like slipped over the side.
Yeah, she gets confused.
That's what I saw. Is I
Turns
had
into a
this
wolf
in my
and then goes
mind. I
in.
was seeing the wolf out there doing that. I was like, oh,
Wolf's just there you go.
this is
Like,
why I whistled, because I
that's-
was trying to get the wolf's attention.
That's what he thinks of you lately. He thinks of you nothing more as just a wolf. The
Yeah,
wolf's
I'm just
far more
a
important.
dirty dog.
I mean, you certainly behave like one sometimes.
Not wrong.
I go, let's
You know
go
what?
inside and
I'm gonna
Go
give you
talk
please,
with-
Martin.
let's go inside and talk with Doc. We have
May I
some...
remember you about the incident at the execution?
Go inside and talk with Doc. We need to make our plans for the night.
You mean because nothing happened, thank God.
Okay, so to clarify, Gideon never told her to change back.
No.
No,
Okay then.
Gideon never told you to become a wolf.
Okay. Because if he said that, she would have been like, okay.
Genius wise. You making your way back into the inn, you see the halfling is still kind of sat there at a table now with some food. So he looks to you, still with his, maybe still find it strange that he almost like sees you as if he does see. I mean, maybe he's not blind, but he definitely looks it. He's, oh, you're back from your travels. Have you given my press any thoughts?
Unfortunately, the captain of the guard has asked us to take care of something, so I think we will be tied up tonight. I do apologize.
Asked us? Question mark?
Well,
Could you repeat that?
I believe you have rooms here, correct? If you do want to join us, once it's of the evening time, we do it here in one of the back rooms, just past Bartman for the direction. I'm sure it was
Not a problem. Thank you for the offer. We'll see if we have time. And I head for the stairs and head up to Doc, ignoring Martin.
I look at him. I see, so this is what asked us means to you.
Layla just looks really confused.
Jerry just kind of chuckled. He follows Gideon.
Oh, well, if he gets to pick a like twice about it, I should ask, like, ask myself to save him. Asking people.
You make your way up and Doc, you probably in your mental state are a bit more aware, and you probably hear the sounds of the creaking floorboards and multiple steps, and for yourself as the door is soon opened. As Doc, you could be in any position if you want, I don't know. You know, if you don't want to see me meditate with the step on the
At this
claw.
point, he's balancing on his head, legs crossed, and just yoga
God.
pose,
I think
levitating.
at this point he'd be perhaps sitting down or something.
Absolutely. The ball hasn't done anything interesting the entire time, nor has anyone come to disturb you.
His meditation turned into a nap because he's old. That's what happens.
One?
But you're all in a room with one big cauldron that takes up like, you know, at least like half the room.
So what's the news?
Well,
Well-
we came back with the armor. It was the better of the two choices. And more importantly, we've got legal coverage now to go check out the ferry. And I hold up the letter from the captain and put it back in my
I
coat.
kind of tug the elven thing out of my backpack. This is very special, Doc. It's something that I believe you do not normally wear armor, correct?
Well, I am trained in armor,
It's
but need
it's a special type. Someone such as myself or you who doesn't normally could wear it, but basically, yeah, it's magical. It's elven.
it does look interesting. Fine. but he takes a look at his great club. I am good for now. Perhaps if any of you could make use of that,
A little magic for one man.
better hands with one of you, I have no need of additional protection. And he just looks at him. He is always rather not scantily clad, but
His two clothing has abs.
yes,
Doesn't
more
need
Conan the
clothing.
Barbarian than a knight in armor.
Doesn't need clothing, he has abs. It's all the
Yes.
clothing
Abs and massive pecs and deltoids.
Mm.
Layla, with Dahlia showing off his own chain, you kind of instantly begin to recognise some of the symbolisms. More so, not that because you probably know Elvish, though I guess part of it, but more that quite a few of the symbols on this match ones that are on number, which is your bow has on like small engravings in twin things, and quite a few of them match that, which allows you to you know the bow quite well. You spent quite a lot of time with it.
Yeah. Layla kind of just walks up, just staring at it, like, oh.
What is it?
She holds up her moonbone, she points at it.
I'm assuming I see the similar
yeah,
symbol.
I'll see. She points at the different symbols.
Interesting.
They almost look scattered around, but there is like some kind of formatting to it in lines with the patterns that run across both the chain and the bow. Yeah, some of them are different, but a lot of them, the majority match up.
That's interesting. So,
But then go over to Gideon and start poking at his pocket. Look at
What is
she's
it, Layla?
trying to like get the paper.
You need the paper?
She's like, what do you see?
Oh. I hold it out so she can read it.
She grabs it and she's like looking at it, kind of like ruffling it up a little bit, and then she kind of like
Don't.
pulls it up to Gideon, points. Why?
To make what we
Why
do
me?
legal.
Why?
So we don't have to deal with the guards as much. Don't worry, it's all good.
You
Don't turn.
Reminds me, did you...
piece of paper important?
Paper is important. Did you find anything while you were watching the ship?
Invisible ghosts walk onto ship.
Did they smell familiar?
Smell like tiny men. Bad.
So there are Duergar on the ship. I plucked the paper from her hands and put it back in my coat. Well, that confirms that we've got the Duergar there.
Now that is interesting.
We deal with
Yes, we do. Dahlius, do you have a spell or something that you can use to hide the pot while it's in here? Like cover it in a box or something, make it look like something it's not?
not so much. That's not really, illusion is not really my specialty.
Layla just takes off her cloak and just drapes it on the cauldron.
I figure the broom is probably stuck in there too, because it's kind of cursed right now.
The cloak was more like, so imagine like, I guess in comparison to like the size of it, like imagine you've got like a dining chair, and you kind of place them all in circles around each other. That's kind of like the size of this thing. So you putting your cloak over it is like the equivalent of putting like your coat over the back of a dining chair. It goes like a little or like all that dining chairs in circles. Like it'll cover a little bit of it, but really.
Layla feels like she just did something great. She's just like hidden.
Very well done, Layla. I'll tell you what, let's see if we can do something else to help.
I
Alias,
wouldn't worry about it that much. It doesn't seem like anyone made any attempts to.
You
see
can never
what
be
it was.
cautious enough. Morfek. You can never be cautious enough.
I could.
It's a bit
Alias,
like...
did you say you had a spell that could tell us if somebody entered the area?
Yeah, I was just going to say yes. I have. I could place an alarm on the room, and I would know instantly if someone entered.
Let's go ahead and let's. I think that's a good idea to set that up. And
Within
as
1
soon
mile.
As soon as it gets dusk, I say we head out and. Or do we want to do this during the daylight? Up to you all.
Well, you're the one that can't see in the dark.
I
This
think
is
that
you.
would
Reminding me.
be advantageous.
Let's go ahead and get that set up right now and head over there. Let's deal
Alright.
with this while we can.
He's kind of holding the element
Um,
chain. Says, who wanted to wear this?
I think it's probably it's a best thing between you and I actually feel Layla might be a good choice for this. It seems to match her bow.
It's her head.
From
Confused.
martial experience, I would beg to differ.
Don't need. She just looks at her own armor and kind of like does a little hand gesture, like my armor's great. I made.
Your armor is amazing, Layla. This one might
She
protect
nods
you a little
with
more.
pride.
This one might protect you a little more because of its metal, but if you don't want it, then I guess, Doc, you're definitely not interested.
He has this deltoid to protect him, you know, healthy and stuff.
He just flexes a little bit, casually. I think
Like-
it's one of you.
It's a little bulky
Less-
for me, but I would say then it would probably get to it's got to be. I would say it's either Layla or you, Dalius, whichever one of you prefers it.
I'm always keen on more protection, but Layla, are you certain?
Just looks up. You take. Metal
Hmm.
too heavy.
Because this is very light, but kind of let her hold it.
She like goes to like drop it, like it's so heavy to her.
He just picks it back up. Well
But-
then, alright.
No, she doesn't drop it. She pretends like she's.
Oh, okay.
Like
Fair.
it's a joke. Like I think it's a joke. She
Gillis is a
gives
little
it
confused.
Gillis.
Well, alright then. And I'll take it back and just start pulling it on. Pull his coat off and pull it on over his shirt.
It's
If you wanna
very
go ahead
light
and-
and easy to wear.
You want to go ahead and set up the spell, and we will head out then,
You know,
everyone, and deal with our next issue.
pull my silver
Hopefully
thread.
tomorrow morning we can be on the road. There is one thing. If we can take one of them alive, it would be preferable.
Right.
I would like to capture them all, but we need one alive because the captain of the guard would like to talk to them to get information from them.
That reminds me, I have a spell I'd like to make part of my repertoire later, but later. And he takes the silver thread out and stretches it across. We'll do the door and any windows, if there's any windows, and I'll cast alarm ritually.
Sounds good to me. You can cover this. It's not in the room anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's
Castle
within
armor.
one. Yeah, within 1 mile of the area, and it'll sound in my head.
Are you gonna be leaving 1 mile?
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah.
Well, unless we all get on the frozen ship and it decides to leave port.
Through the ice that it's frozen in place from.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like one of those Russian ships that just bulldozes the ice.
So we have fought Durga before.
We
Is
have.
there any strategy we should use?
Well, I was
Well,
thinking
yes.
we should go down, because they're on the dock right across from us. We should go down a couple of docks to this one over here. Go onto the ice behind this large ship and try to make our way stealthily in from the ice side, because I think they'll be watching more for people coming up the dock.
I look at Gideon. I look at my half plate. I look at Gideon again. Stealthy.
Or
Zoom in on his eyes, zoom in on your eyes.
But
Or
Martin
we
has
can go right down the dock and walk right on board. Whichever way you two, you, I look at to Martin and Doc as a you two decide. I'm following you two on this one.
that might be the most straightforward approach, considering that first of all, it would be quite difficult to close in unnoticed, and they are themselves hidden from sight. So if we were to blow our cover, we would give away our intentions immediately, while this makes it still ambiguous. You know, and also, are
Would
they-
say, do we have or Dailies, do you have a way of neutralizing their invisibility?
Not so much.
Doc, any ideas?
I tell you, I deal with gravity and fate and time.
I smell.
Smelling is good.
though invisible targets are not something I have much experience with.
A bit of a wild idea. What if we take a couple bags of soot with us?
Hmm.
If we know we're in combat with something, one of us can spray the suit, get the soot throughout the air, and we'll be able to see. Hopefully, it'll either stick to their invisibility, or we'll be able to see where their shapes are at the very least.
I could use my mage hand to shake it around. I suppose that can keep my distance a little bit.
Have you spellcasting abilities? Not anything that could
I'll
provide
make
similar
it
effect?
very, perhaps.
Wait.
No.
I have needs.
It's probably about 20, maybe 25 feet, like wide, and maybe about, I don't really know how long, maybe like 60 feet long. That seems, it's not massive, but it's enough to carry a sizable amount of people and cargo on short trips. If that makes sense. It has kind of its main kind of boat area, and then it's like a set of rooms in the middle. So it could store cargo like underneath, and then have people in the rooms above. There's like one story above the main bit. If that makes sense.
Could fireball it, but that would cost us money because they'd expect us to replace the ferry. Mark.
Not if we catch some Durga on the ferry.
But if we
Well,
catch the Duergar and leave them a ferry, they will probably reward us.
And
I do the talking. And this time, no, someone asked us to do something for them. Understood.
Wait, I need to give a smoke screen to a guy who's being a little too pushy with his religious beliefs. I'm gonna make up if I have to tell a white lie of somebody asked us to do something so we don't have to go to his seance, I'm gonna say that. I would figure somebody of your abilities would know when I'm telling a white lie.
You know, we could just not go to the seance at all, because we don't know this guy and we don't care about this little seance. It's not like Icewind fitting the script.
But this way we don't cause any problems where we're living.
Layla
No,
just looked between Martin and Gideon, and then she just walks off.
wait, smoke screen. That gives me an idea. So first off,
There goes the
we
health
only excessive use of magic and force would be only should only be used if we are in a pickle. You know, maximizing our financial gain would be in everyone's
Quite
interest, I presume. And also, having something like soot or snow or whatever to try to reveal potential targets, or at least hone in on their position, I suggest that Martin, Layla and I try to somewhat surround them, and if I can get my hands on them so they cannot get away, that would make things easier. Just as a suggestion for a strategy. So we have an approximate pin on their location, and perhaps we can make a signal to have a smoke screen of our own to get away if things get dicey. Darius, I've seen you use your magic to unmake light, or however that may work.
Isn't that more of a Martin thing?
I'm talking prestidigitation. I don't have that prepared.
Did you cast darkness?
Oh, darkness. Yes, I can cast darkness. Yes. Sorry, I was
Sorry,
confused.
permitting.
Yes, I can. I can do that once a day.
If we
Yes,
have to,
just-
we have two who could at least put us on equal footing with the other side. They
Well,
can't see us and we can't see them.
I would have that in the back pocket if things
Yeah,
get
that
dicey,
as
so
a-
we can escape if or get wounded off the battlefield and regroup. A smoke screen for escapes would be a good idea to have in our pockets.
It's
Uh,
it's a small
But this is-
area, but possible.
We can combine both of your darknesses into a larger area that would allow us time to get away before. It's not a bad idea.
True. True.
Let's keep that as a emergency fallback plan. And with that, let's just walk out to their ship and walk out to the ferry and see what's happening. After all-
Layla had already been doing that, by the way, while you guys planned shit.
Oh no, I grabbed Layla by the shoulder on her way out.
When?
I'm just kind of immediately when you
Fight
started
me,
walking
bro.
away.
Fantastic athletics!
Technically.
Well, we can bring her up to date on her way there.
Let's get going and make this happen.
Onwards to glorious battle.
Head on out. Get to the dock.
Did we discuss?
Walk right down the thing.
Hmm.
What could go wrong?
I think I'm gonna keep Mage Hand out for now, just in case.
I do grab a bag of soot from Bertrand on our way out.
Bardaban.
Bardaban.
Scheme for a bag of soot.
Just I said, can I get some soot for some of your fire soot? I have a use for it.
Okie it around.
Is there ashes in the fire?
There's a few ashes, maybe, but we don't burn coal, it's all wood.
You have some old flour.
Yeah, can I get a bag of flour from you? An old bag. It can be a melee bad bag if you want.
Not that I can spare unless you're willing to pay for it.
Flip them gold.
2.
I flip them too.
He smiles once and comes back with a small bag of flour.
Let's just say way.
And that to Daily. So there's our powder.
It's like immediately uses. How much does this flour weigh?
Probably just a
How
pound.
much? Yeah, I'm not
They
100% sure
they
how
come in
much
like
flour.
pound bags.
Okay, just checking. He's just
How
gonna
much the mage hand lift?
10 pounds. I was just thinking, well, Daylight is weak as fuck, so
You mage hand.
he just immediately like picks it up with his spectral mage hand and just holds it in front of him. Keep casting that.
And we head towards the dock and on our way.
Yep. On the way.
Begin to head down the dock. You probably all begin to notice there's really like the snow along this dock is like completely undisturbed apart from seeing that these 2 tracks of thick, wider footprints, which I think following the other ones that you've seen around, you probably recognise these as woman-sized footprints. Making your way to the ferry. There's a lot of snow covering it, ice comes down from overhang bits. It's closed up, but it's pretty easy to climb onto. As said, there's at the backside, there's like, at the back of it is like a grate pulled up to go into like the hold. Above there is a room, maybe like a room or 2 worth of space, which can be gone through a door at either side. And that leaves, sorry, I didn't forget one thing, there's a bit where kind of someone can look out from the top. It's a place just, it's like a single, almost like a single, it's not quite a crow's nest, it's almost like a small room. But it's almost like a small box room. It's kind of placed to the front above these other presumably other 2 rooms. You can see where kind of a lot of things is something sheet with ice and snow. The door and like the snow kind of around it within its kind of swing has been very visibly pushed away, as if the door opens outwards and has been opened, at least somewhat recently. Probably seen several of these little big footsteps around the deck.
Can you do your smell thing?
She gives a nod and she wanders in the air.
Wandering around, just sniffs up, trying to see if that's what you get. You smell the same thing, but it doesn't surprise you. This bow doesn't reek of it, but it's a bit more strong. Because some of them have been hanging out for a little bit. Apart from that, it's kind of hard to really get in much more.
see any tracks that head back towards that crate you were talking about? Or up towards the lookout area?
Lookout area is access through the like the two rooms that kind of sit on the main deck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so. Yes.
Any tracks heading back towards that crate?
Yeah, there are tracks heading back towards the grave. There are tracks not really. Then they're not like loads and loads, but just kind of generally just around the boat.
Make my way back to the grate and I see if the snow and the ice has been disturbed and broken.
You can see all this like from just over the side
Yep.
of the boat. I guess you'd like to get onto the boat.
Well, can I see the grate from the side of the boat?
You can see it from the side of the boat, but it's with the curve of the boat and the grate's kind of sat in the middle of the back, so you can't really get close to it or really see into it from where you are.
I motion to Martin and Doc and say after you, gentlemen. And I pull my pistol with that and ready to cover them as they get onto the boat. Or is there a gangplank?
Might be a gangplank, but it's not opened up right now. It almost looks like there may have been some kind of small gate on the side railing to make access means.
I think I like either untie or kind of cut a hole in the top of the bag of flour as it's floating in my mage hand just to get it ready.
Nothing.
Got like a dagger.
Pretty easy, just kind of step onto the boat.
Yeah.
You kind of have to step.
I've got you two covered. We'll follow you up after you get on the boat.
Yeah, you climb over the side railing bit and you get onto the boat. You hear it kind of creak a little bit. Just put your weight onto it. Nothing particularly interesting happens.
Did you get on too, or?
Martin.
Yes. Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you now.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, did you?
Yeah. I said yes several times, so yeah.
Outside.
Yes.
Okay.
You climb and also not as loud as squeak this time, but still a little bit of longboard.
With them kind of holding a beachhead, for lack of a better word, I go ahead and follow on and
Similar thing.
Good no.
motion for the other two to come with me. Once we're on board, can I see that grate a little better?
From here you can see it, but you probably have to kind of get over by it to really look through it.
I'm looking more at it if it's covered in ice, if it's been disturbed.
It's kind of got like snow over it, but from kind of like little bits of depression, like consecutive patterns of depressions in the snow. You can probably
Been opened and closed.
It doesn't look like it's. I mean,
Okay.
so I meant from kind of like the pattern depression in snow. It's like there are kind of holes in this grate. The snow has just managed to like build up a bit on top of it. So yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's really been into that much.
Looks like there's our door to get in, guys. Who wants to go first?
Alright.
There is also a similar one kind of parallel on the other side of the boat if anyone does wish to go to that side.
Yes, Doc tries to get in.
The door it opens kind of towards you in the towns. It is unlocked and not stuck with ice.
Well,
Is it lit inside?
No lights turned on. From
Galius,
what
you
kind
mind
of see in this
doing the light thing with my hat?
I tap his hat with my left hand and cast light.
Absolutely. From what you can see in this room, it seems there are kind of a number of benches placed around. Some kind of small windows that have kind of been frozen over and snowed over a bit, so you can't really see out now. There's another door, kind of, so you're almost a bit from the back end of the boat a little bit here. There's another door that leads into the rooms that go on, essentially the room that goes a bit more towards the front of the boat. Looks like this was some kind of potentially seating area for pedestrians or citizens. You see footprints kind of go from both this door and the other doors and just across the way that would lead outside. And then you kind of see some depressions in the snow on the benches. There's kind of a more consistent path leading towards this door that leads further.
Let's do a light powdering in here.
Just kind of, I guess, I don't know how I do that, just kind of shake the...
Yeah, the bag kind of floats in and begins to shake around. It slowly falls.
Like the corners and everything.
Yeah, it doesn't land on anything out of the ordinary.
Just a little bit of the flour.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much for flour to poof up into an area.
Yeah.
Well, let's, I guess we're on the next door then.
On my way.
The next door is similarly unlocked. I mean, it's not as icy in here. You know, there are kind of little bits of snow. You can see there's obviously like holes in the roof where some snow seems to have gone in. But this door is unlocked.
Right. Dark peeks in, and if nothing catches his eye, he moves in.
Moving in, this room is a little bit smaller than the room you just been in. It has a few boxes and crates around in it. It has a trapdoor at the far end that's leads downwards. And it also has and there's a ladder that kind of leads downwards, and there's a trapdoor like right above it as well that leads upwards with a ladder going up.
Try to take initiative and like float the mage hand a little further ahead and kind of sprinkle it a little bit, just a little bit around ahead of us as we go. See if it falls on anything invisible.
So, as you shake the powder, give it a second. I guess everyone just make me like a perception check with advantage real quick. And else
That
Doc is inevitable.
what is
Holy
That doesn't
Jesus!
What?
Incarnation.
Two natural 20s, wow.
Doc was like, reality can do whatever I want. And I wanted to be 2 net 20s.
that?
Well
Well
seem
done,
right.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Is there something?
Doc, with you leading the way, almost before like the flowers even kind of begun like moving from kind of both the corners of this room that are kind of closest to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Close,
hear kind of like a heavy. It's like trying to keep it down, but a heavy breathing, and maybe kind of a bit of like weight shifting in the snow on both sides. And you maybe even like as soon as the fire begins puffing out, you kind of catch the rough, very very rough shape of some smaller humanoid creatures standing there.
Does my 24 give me the same thing?
I mean, he's still standing in the doorway. So it's kind of hard to see because they're both kind of because obviously you're coming through like a wall, like the middle of a wall.
No.
In a square room, and they're both in the corners that are closest to you, so you don't even have like line of sight on. It's just because Doc's in the door.
Well, the second Doc sees that, he alarms his friends to their presence and just points in their general direction.
I'll move the mage hand, we'll say to the left, whichever direction Doc points first, left or right, and just start shaking around, kind of like leaning around him and kind of shaking on the corner.
Sure. The room simply becomes almost enveloped in this white mist, like
Say in
guess-
Dwarvish.
with that Doc, you see the two figures now a bit more kind of shaped up charge you. You can now just like see the footprints. And I'm not going to do initiative yet, so I'm going to beat the ever shit out of these. But I'll allow you to kind of get some attacks in if you want to, or whatever you'd like to do. Almost kind of get like a turn's worth of stuff.
Doc would probably try to grab the left one, so it can't get away.
Let's just make me an athletics check, please. He failed. Oh yeah, absolutely. You grab him, the other one is going to try and smite your back. Just make this check.
And
no, I think he misses you. You grab the guy on the left and you feel like you kind of see his rough body shape now. You grab low, kind of almost like catching him in his stomach with your shoulder a little bit, kind of winning him so he misses his strike. And the other one, maybe kind of like running into the room a little bit to meet him. And the other one falls short right in front of the door. The rest of you now can see this flowered outline of a figure. Oh, actually, wait, as they both swing, yeah, Doc, as you grab the one guy, you now see the form of the dark-skinned, white-haired, big bushy beard, Durgar appear in your hands, and everyone else will see the other one appear like right in front of the door.
The barrel.
Points to his left and see all of you.
I put my barrel, pointing the tip of my barrel right at the base of his skull. I said, "It might be best not to move, my friend." In Dwarven.
Make an intimidation check.
Damn it.
can Doc help, considering he's holding one of them, and despite them being having been invisible, you know, helping by a demonstration.
I mean, you've only grabbed him. I'm gonna say no, because you've only grabbed him.
Come on, I'm twice as tall as him.
He's not.
I just grabbed him while he was invisible.
He's a pure bundle of muscle. Look at his deltoids, man.
The 9 is what it is. I just want to see what the other one. Okay, good. So 9 would have been it anyway.
He chuckles. And Doc, in your arms, you begin to feel the creature just like grow in size. You still manage to keep your grip around him, but he's like
I
bigger
was gonna say
now.
he's a Goliath.
And the dwarf, the Durgar in front of the door begins to grow in size, popping away. I guess like the rest of you can do like an action or something if you want to. Layla Dayla's on.
Shit, I was like right behind Doc, so am I far enough away to just do a firebolt at it?
Whoa. So, this is right. We have one at gunpoint and the other one is currently growing into humongous proportions.
They're both going into humongous proportions. Classic.
But Golfback and Gideon have basically one in the pincer.
No. Golfback has grabbed one and began to push him off to the side a little bit. And then the one that Gideon was pointing at, which is one right in front of the door, there's now a view of the rest of you guys. Chuckled at the gun point and just kind of began to grow in size a bit.
I mean, if he starts to grow, if he grows, then I cast Shadow of Marble myself, because this means combat.
Sure.
Delius just backs up a foot and what do you do? I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy and make the ground shake. Underneath
As the
their feet.
Shadow Maw begins to set, later is anything you want to do.
What did you say?
I was saying, is there anything Layla would like to do as well?
Okay.
Layla,
Huh?
is there anything you would like to do? See the grove on the dwarf from the doorway.
Let's just fire an arrow into their kneecap or something.
Sure, go for it. Roll to hit.
Why not?
I'm supposed to do first. And you can do extra attack if you want. 16 hits. 16 hits. Damage. You can do another attack if you want to make back extra attack.
Damage.
Give me other kneecap.
21 hits.
Boy.
And you fire the arrows into the kneecaps. You're like, "Ah!" As he kind of almost begins to fall backwards a little bit and stumble to one knee.
Told you not to move.
I guess Martin, you cast your shadow more on you, and Dillis, you begin to make the ground tremble a little bit. I guess that goal attack.
I go ahead and try to club this guy while he's there.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. What you're clubbing him
With the pistol.
Sure, make an athletics check. See,
Not terrible.
Yeah, you, with him now kind of in his like, kind of he's almost like on his knee a little bit, that would be shot. You bonk him on the head and he falls backwards unconscious and begins shrinking. Gothak, what would you like to do? Yeah, grabbing hold of one. He's a bit bigger now, but...
I'll step in and out with that I'm stepping in and out of Gorthak's way, but bringing a line up, bringing the pistol up on the one he's holding.
That's fine.
So the other one is already out of
So
range.
one's just been knocked here by like all of your eyes.
2 arrows to the knees and a thump to the head.
So how does my powerful bird interact with his growing size larger?
You could just keep grabbing him. Just imagine like you're grappling a medium creature still or something. That's probably...
So, on his right shoulder, I imagine Doug still has his giant club. So he just headbutts the dwarf that's probably now on eye level.
Yeah, sure. Just make like an athletics check for him.
I can also make an unarmed strike.
I mean, if you'd like to make an arm check, that's fine. It's up to you. A 10 unfortunately
Extra
is, yeah, go ahead. 25 hits. You tried to smack him in the head, but kind of almost like hit him in the chest a little bit, where some of his armor is. But you headbutt him again, jumping up a little bit, you clonk him in the head. You're like, ah! Get off me, bleeding fool! And I guess you guys can get to
I don't have anything to knock him out.
I guess Gideon stepped in. Gideon, I'm sure he had something in mind.
I stepped in and out of the way to give Martin and anybody else room to come into the room.
Like,
I motion Martin towards Doc to help him, and I break out my manacles and I'm manacling the unconscious one.
Yeah, sure.
well, I go to the closest one, which I guess is the one Doc is currently busy with, and I swing.
Yeah, sure. I think you have advantage or something, so just
Yes,
go crazy.
I has because shadow of Moil, otherwise I wouldn't have bothered using it.
19 hits. 13 damage.
Yes.
Does Chalmoil only do thing when they attack you?
Yes.
You slash it into the side, cutting deeply into his side. Still got like an extra attack.
Yep.
25 hits. Are you trying to knock him out or you just kill him?
I knock him out because I want to interrogate him.
With the slash, he kind of almost gives in Doc's arms, and you kind of get a chance to kind of like just.
Nah, we can do this better. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I just, you know, what's it called with the nut on the end, like the blunt end of the sword, you know?
The hilt?
Almost strike.
Pommel?
Pummel strike.
I unscrew the pummel. I take it.
This
and then
pummel
throw it into
doesn't.
his face.
This pummel doesn't unscrew.
Then I throw the sword in his face.
Yeah, you just slashing him. He comes out of it. You just like lob the sword and then just bonk. Give him a good old bonk, and he will
See his eyes crossing as he passes out.
Yeah. Yeah, as he shrinks again in your arm stock and just falls.
I took his honor. Got the pummel. Yeah, I grabbed
Well
my
done,
sword
Martin.
and be ready.
They could have done this the easy way, but
They chose. Pull out the arrows and I pass it back to Layla.
What are people's passive perceptions?
16.
15.
13.
Late
Oh, wait.
18,
Perception? Yeah.
passive perception.
Yep.
Sorry, who was 16?
Me.
Who was 16?
Me.
Dalius and Layla, you hear the sound like almost like it's coming from outside. A very like a large kind of like a heavy like thump, as if somebody has just like hit something heavily.
Uh-oh.
And you begin to hear kind of footsteps that sound like them leaving.
My mage hand can go 30 feet. I probably just barely stepped in the door, so I'll like step out and mage hand. Can I tell where the footsteps sound like they're coming from, like towards where you go, the gangplank type of thing?
You can now see that just on the dock, like just stepping over the boat, a new set of footprints begins to like more quickly make itself, and you hear kind of like a heavy like huffing and puffing. You maybe even see like, well, actually you wouldn't for these guys.
How far away?
Literally about 10 from you.
So I'll just use the mage hand because it can go 30 feet and go and start shaking flour over where the footsteps are.
Yeah, you begin shaking the flower, and then another one like just now jumping over the kind of the fence of the it's not the fence, but like of the boat. As both these now a bit more flower-covered figures, Durgar size, begin running down.
Firebolt.
Do I see
Layla-
Dalius do
Yeah, you will see Dalius like run to the other door.
as I come out and see that? I yell.
Layla, 1 minute. Layla,
Oh.
is there anything you would like to do? Because you also pointed at it.
Well, Dalius is casting firebolts.
No, it could be. This could be as your.
This is gonna take like a second.
Because I was
Dalius is
shaking the
also doing
flower first.
Oh, okay. Then he's
Sure.
gonna
Just make an attack roll. Are you going after the first one or the second?
And if.
20 hits.
Because I would have before I would get a chance to firebolt, I would firebolt whatever one she's not aiming at.
That's fine. 9 damage. The arrow sticks into one. So now there's just this kind of like half flower thing with just this like floating arrows moving up and down. It's like what you blast under the one you blast on behind. You see kind of like the slight singes of. If they take damage,
Well, invisibility is concentration. I don't know if it works the same with the racial ability.
down to 30 seconds.
Depends on if it works the same as the
Double
spell, I
oof.
think.
Double oof. As you hit them both, one with the arrow and one with the firebolt, you hit kind of almost like gaffs for air, as you see two Dugar figures just kind of like become visible again. And you can now see them running. They begin running from down the dock, just trying to, I guess, ignore you. You see the one at the front. Give me a quick second. Yeah, the one in the front doesn't seem to be wearing as you know, the one back is wearing this kind of this scale mail that you're used to the Durgar seeing, and the other one in front is wearing more of kind of almost like a nicer leather armor piece. And he's not carrying like the big weapons, the war picks and the javelins that the other ones are.
I'll fire another firebolt at the non-armor wearing one, if I can.
Don't think. As you fire it, the back one kind of turns around from it and almost like Mr. President's it jumps in front and gets blasted, almost like thrown to the floor a little bit before picking up and begin running, giving his ability the chance to run further. At this point, I guess the rest of you kind of see this and see the kind of shooting of arrows and blasting of firebolts outside of the door you came in. What do you guys like to do? The scene is kind of more open now, a little bit.
Doc probably runs up if, he hears cover.
Yeah.
I pop out and around, pulling the pistol out and seeing the guy who's leathery and looking to be worn charge. And I yell, as I fire, Churl, your brother won't be joining you. We've already got him. And I'll fire my pistol at him with a winging shot.
Sure.
Nice.
19 hits. 15 damage. What does your shot do?
I need a strength save, DC 16, or he will be knocked prone.
He fails. And as he knocks prone, you suddenly see, as he kind of hits the floor, his body kind of just suddenly begins to shrink down.
I take my second shot, doing the same thing, spending my second grit point on.
You have disadvantage because he's prone.
No, this is on the
Oh,
trailer.
the other one, okay. Roll hits. Seven damage. You hit him again. He seems quite hurt now.
He also has to make a strength DC 16 or be knocked prone.
He fails also. He's not prone.
Then I just motion to Doc to run to go get him. If they get back up, I'll shoot him again.
I guess. Would you like to give chase? Okay.
He has 40 feet speed and he dashes, so...
one that has been knocked down doesn't really begin to move or liquidate. One now being knocked down, it seems like you've hit something important in one of his legs. He's struggling to get back up. The other one though is now very small.
That's the leather guy.
Yeah.
When you say very small, he got smaller than a dwarf normally is.
Yup. He is very small.
Can Doc catch up with him?
Easily.
You certainly can. Yeah.
Well, then Doc tries to catch up with him and
Oh wait, you
play
probably
catch.
have to use your action to dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of get up to him, but you can't really do anything at this point because he's run quite far. Which at this point he almost throws himself. This tiny little dwarf, probably maybe the size of almost got fit in your hand, kind of small. Jumps off the dock. You can make a swing against him if you want to. It's up to you.
Why not?
Sure thing.
Non-lethally, but
Yeah,
with
sounds
his fancy club.
24 does hit. 13 damage. You kind of almost bat him a little bit, and he gets knocked kind of almost down and then rolls off and begins running. He seems to head towards one of the boats.
So he's got a movement of 25, which is 50 if he dashes. You should be able to do 40 and 80.
Just barely need
I'm not
to
going
dash
off
to
like. I'm not going off like complete.
Well,
exact
roughly.
numbers here.
No,
But
I'm just trying
He
to see
seems
how
to
long
be
it would
kind of-
take him to
he
catch
kind
up.
of- yeah, you seem to follow Doc and he kind of heads towards the bottom of this boat here.
Well, Doc tries to catch up.
Yeah,
He
sure.
can grab him along the way.
Unfortunately, just before
I
you
will
get
look at Layla and say, hey, Layla, can you do your wolf thing and go get that guy?
Okay, she turns into a wolf and goes for that guy.
just as like you're about to almost like grab him, he finds a very small hole in the boards, kind of like the sort of broken boards from the ice of this other boat, and just kind of jumps into it like a little mouse. Before you can grab him.
I just imagine Layla like coming in with her mouth on the side. If I
Yeah.
chomp on him, he just slips right through.
Yeah.
Little
You
cartoon.
probably like even like you could fit your paw in maybe and like scrape around a bit, but not like getting it that far.
She starts growling and like trying to dig.
You know, you can
In the
just
meantime, Gideon's moving up to
surrender.
the one that's down.
Dale
Tying
just
him
following
up.
Gideon.
Yeah. He doesn't get much interest in these things, and groaning in pain now.
Doc, how's it going over there?
He's hiding inside the boat. He's tiny and slippery.
Elias, why don't you go relieve Doc at the hole? If he comes out, grab him. And Doc, why don't you and Layla see if Layla can sniff him out on the boat?
And you tiny dwarf.
I think Delius
You can hear me,
first.
you can just surrender. This will make things easier.
I think Delius second when Gideon says go over to the boat and if he comes out grab him, he just kind of looks at him like, you really, alright, walks over, or runs over.
This is a bit of a big boat. And inspecting any of the doors that would lead down to the lower entrances on the hatch, they are locked.
Hmm.
The locked ones look like they can pry open.
Probably know yours through.
Well then, why not try?
So, make an athletics roll.
So yell over to Delius. See if you can get some sort of flower. If we've got enough left, see if you can get a flower line around the boat, so we'll see if footprints if he comes out
no
another
enough
hole.
flower left after the
It's worth
tipping.
a try.
No.
That bit that's
It's worth a try.
Probably had to drop the flower anyway. So it's probably back by the original boat.
Yeah, 14 is enough to break one of the locks on the doors. You get yourself down into like the next floor down, but it doesn't look like it's the bottom of the boat. There's probably there's not a stairway any further down here, but there's another smaller hatch. And it kind of leads down to the bottom of the boat. I think it's called the bilge.
Yep.
That's kind of... You would probably have to crouch down, maybe almost your size, maybe you know your hands and knees to crawl around it.
Layla should fit though.
And there's a wolf. Oh, god damn it. Nah, too late.
It would squeezing in there.
You can squeeze in there, but like just
But
with your height, you'd have to be on your
Would
hands
it
and knees.
incapacitate him combat-wise? Make it difficult for him to... Alright.
No, well, actually, it almost like take as if like you're prone. In a way.
Oh, well, if you're not coming out, I'm coming in.
Oh my god.
And then just
Remember,
roll
Layla's
in
with
and-
you.
And cursing.
Layla is far too big to fit down. She can probably fit into the door into this kind of lower hold, but she is far too big to fit down this trap hole door. If anyone else would like to do anything while this happens.
I'm assuming Martin is stripping the two that we downed in the ship, or in the ferry. Right?
I'm just
Obviously,
kind
yeah.
of way at the top of the.
It's free real estate at this point.
It's free real estate. Yeah, begin to crawl your way in. You can probably hear like a tired panting sound coming from kind of the side that the guy ran into. You don't see anything.
Come on now. There's no way for this to keep on. Just surrender. Why make things complicated? And he tries to search for him by
Yeah.
sound.
Even in like in a small space, there's not really much place for him to hide. And you know, he's following the breathing. He's like, it seems though he's invisible, it seems he's like pressed up against the kind of almost like the front of the boat. At this bottom bit, you know, his smaller size make it a bit easier for him, but he's still trying to like hide, but he's not having a completely successful time at it.
Layla be able to get her muzzle in there and like
You can-
bite down on his clothes? or
No,
something?
he's so like the hatch is almost like in the middle of the boat, and he's like on the far
Is it the bow?
side. And I got that you hear him say, "My father will bring ruin to these 10 towns. You won't be able to stop him.
Wait, are you a prince?
You're not there. You're miles away."
Yeah, I'm serving people, but I can feel a disturbance in the force. I smell ransom money.
Yes.
Well.
Well, no.
Whatever your father may do, you're in quite the pickle. And your father is not here.
I'll follow Doc down if I hear him talking.
He grunts and you see it begin to kind of like apparate. See, he goes, "Fine, take me prisoner, put me in your cells. You won't stop my father. He has divine right."
Who is your
Let's
father?
see about that. If your father is a formidable foe, well, he may
Who is your
try.
daddy and what does he do?
And Doc just grabs the pocket-sized dwarf in his hand.
He's no
And-
longer pocket-sized.
Oh,
When he
alright.
reapparates, he's not pocket-sized.
Can he still just grab him and
Yeah, you can
roll
grab him.
out
He
with
doesn't,
him?
he doesn't give a lot of resistance. He almost looks like he's kind of knows the situation now. Doesn't really have-
Start on the outside. I get with Martin and start collecting our 3 cores and heading down the dock towards that ship to meet the other 3 as they bring out the
It's not
leader.
hard. Yeah, he brings him out, like held up a little bit off the ground by the scruff by Doc.
So, Churl, how goes it today? Oh, sorry. So, Dirk, how goes it today?
It's a full sight to see.
I believe some people here have some words for you. Let's go.
he said
Before we get
something
out of
about
here,
his-
Martin, go ahead and take his gear.
I take all of this.
He said something about his father bringing ruin to the 10 towns.
Wait, what?
This is
My father? Okay. Is your father so
Could be
important?
something royal, perhaps.
Dugar don't
I-
really have royals. It's probably the clan leader.
I don't care if he's a royal, a clan leader, a chicken farmer, or something else. If you can pay handsomely for his little son, then I gladly
You won't.
call him Prince.
That's not our way. That's not their way, my friend.
Well, then I guess he's dead meat at some point.
Let's take them all. Let's run these four over to the city guard.
Before that happens,
Oh, you know, I would like to interrogate them first, if you don't mind.
it seems prudent to ask them where this father resides. And he takes a look at the dwarf.
Have we already ascertained the exact course of action they tried to follow through with bury here the dogs?
You won't
Well,
get a
we know
word
that
out of me
they
while I'm
are-
alive.
We know that they want the Charterland. They're probably here for that statue that we saw at the city hall. It seems to be something there that they're interested in, according to his letter to his brother. Right, Churl? Or right, Chur?
This guy's dead.
Hmm? Chur. Why do I want to call him Chur? Why do I want to? Sorry. I look at him and say,
I
right,
mean,
Chur?
like last one or something. I think. He
This
just
guy's
scowls.
dirt,
He
right?
just scowls at you.
You know you're not going to be getting more letters from your brother, right?
Say anything.
The dwarves of the valley now man the fortress. If you tell us where your father is, maybe we'll be able to, or where your people's stronghold is up here, maybe we'll be able to put a good word in with the captain.
I mean, see it that way. You could, of course, absolutely keep quiet, but it won't change when things are about to happen to the rest of the clan. But you can save yourself. Just be the more talkative. Trust me. You should do this.
Doesn't say
He
anything.
wants to stay loyal to his clan, then we'll just give him to the local authorities.
No. Let's see, what do we have here? Do we have something we can make it all? Buses here, drums.
Discombobulate.
Let's just take him to, we'll let the captain do her job to him. Let's go. Just think the captain owes us one now, Mark.
Well, let's see. Perhaps she can spare some coin.
Did you say you wanted to strip down? Do you want to take like their armor off them?
I take
We're
everything.
taking their armor, weapons.
They have
anything of
someone
value.
to close to leave those on.
Oh,
With
what
their
clothes
clothes
do I
on.
have?
Some just
Nah,
like
wait. But what is-
underclothes under they're
Yeah.
like not special.
We leave their everyday clothes on.
I leave the
We just take the gear
undergarments.
that's worth more.
Oh.
I leave the undergarments. Rest
So
goes away.
You get quickly getting this down. You get 3 sets of scale mail, 3 shields, 3 war picks.
I got it.
And on the other guy has some leather armor and a small dagger. But additionally, he has on him two smaller pieces of. Well, Crystal looks very much like Chardlin. And does he have a resume? Check. And he has a small map.
Take a look at the map.
It's a very crude and just rough map of the Icewind Dale and every 10 town settlement. However, it also has a mark somewhere in the mountains. In this
Where
map.
we believe,
Yeah.
where we
roughly
already
around
have the
same
mark?
spots. Yeah, roughly around the same spot.
That mark,
Depend on their location.
looks like that mark coincides with where we already thought your father was. Guess we don't need to talk to you. Let's go. While we're walking, I looked at Daly. I said, Daly, should want to check these to see if any of this gear is magical.
If you give me some time, I will have
We'll
to do
while we're
this
turning
later.
them in.
I mean, there's whatever you do, check this not as magical.
Okay. That's right. Just because I had the ritual to cast it, so.
Yeah, yeah. Whenever you do, it's
Yeah, I figured.
there's no
Oh.
point saving that.
If Martin lets you or whatever, I'll cock up the 2 pieces of Chardonnay. Or suspected Chardonnay, I'm assuming. Do they look
Yeah,
like the
sure.
ones we already have? Or I already have, I should say.
Yeah, is the Chardonnay that we got from them, does it still have the blackness in it? Does it look like the ones we have without it?
It's like the ones you have without it.
Is it the size of the 6 that I have, or is it smaller than that? Because I have 6 pieces and I have 1 slightly larger.
That's the size of the 6.
Okay, so another 2.
Hopefully it's a short walk to get over here to the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Take him in the front door and knock on the captain's door. Captain, we've got a gift for you. Open the door. I said, Captain, we have 4 Duergar. Where would you like them?
She like puts a hand in her face. It's like a very like, I could not do this right now. Come this way.
Fair warning,
got-
this one, and I point towards Dirth. This one, his
Yeah.
name is Dirth. His father is part of a clan that has a stronghold to the south, above ground, it seems. And he can make himself small, so you might want to remember that as we put him in a cage somewhere.
He like deadpan stares at you as like, why on earth did you just tell me this? More as like I really didn't need this right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm adding to her nightmare for a day.
Yeah, she leads you through a door, and it leads you into this same big. The statue is still there, though the woman is not. You probably see the conscious Duergar take a wide-eyed look at it as they pass. But you still soon go down the staircase near the back of the room. It leads into kind of sets of hallways with a number of cells of some kind. The doors are kind of full doors, but with like a little hatch that you can flick to see through. She points for you to just kind of chuck them in one individually.
Well, throw them in, not super gently, but not over rough.
And as you do so, she makes her way to one end of the corridor and kind of bangs on one door that you see is kind of separated from some of the others, and then looks in and we've got some prisoners. Keep an eye on them and make sure they do not leave.
One of them can get small, by the way.
And all
One of
three,
them
and
can
all
get small.
4 can turn invisible.
And she looks back and like, really? They can also turn invisible. So
And they can all get
an eye on
big
their
too.
doors.
You haven't dealt with
That's all just
Duergar before, have you?
No. No, I have not. We best not just killing them.
Captain Dirth has information. He says his father's going to terrorize and take over the 10 towns.
Great. I hope the speaker is enthusiastic about this as I am.
On the
Is that
bright side, the ferry is now clear. You might want to talk to the ferry's owner because they seem to have been there for a while. He might have known they're there.
He leans against the wall. Anything else?
No, man, we'll leave you in peace. Well, Martin, go ahead.
Ah, I see. Do I have to spell it out? You just cool comments like 2.6.
What do you want?
We found quite sad.
You want payment? Do you want payment?
Yes.
Take the fucking book. I really couldn't care.
I don't want the fucking book, I want money.
We don't have money to spare.
I don't know, find something valuable. Something I can turn into money. This book is a bunch of fucking gibberish and maybe...
Alias, can we sell the book in Brynchander?
You could, it probably wouldn't be that much.
It's probably worth more to someone like myself who's just insanely curious. It's not worth much.
So I look at Martin, I'm like, yeah, I'm with you, brother. That's not worth any money.
Let's all be
Do
diplomatic.
you want the
about
big
this.
statue and get it out of my way? I could take that for all I care.
I look at
How
Martin and I
about-
shake my head up and down.
How about we all get a little
idea
bit...
what we could take.
I have
I'm
a
all in.
proposition to make.
I think we take the... oh, sorry, go ahead, Doc. What was that?
So, no, there's no money to be had, nothing much more to gain. It would be terribly impolite to just try to make him give us money. That's not...
No, I understand what you're saying, Doc, but they do have a statue here that they don't like and they want to get rid of that could be of use.
Well, perhaps we can
And if
take
she's
care of
offering that, I think we, Captain, if it's okay with you, I will get into contact with some friends and see if they can come down and fetch it for us. Is that acceptable to you?
If that's acceptable as a damn reward, then fine.
Yes.
And also, can Duck get... does the person look terribly overworked or something? Can you get like a medical spin on their situation?
Yeah, for you, someone who's, she doesn't look like she maybe come down, but she does look very overworked. You see big bags under her eyes. I mean, this is, someone who has just had to execute a murderer by fire, then get reports back from possibly like the one good bit of news you would have in a moment that it is in fact not good news. Well, you killed a hag, but the people she has to go find are all dead. So that their names now just brought them. Would be good news that you've just done some work. Maybe you just cleared out some homeless people from the boat. No, but now they're dwarves that can go small, go really big, also go invisible.
And are planning to destroy the 10 towns.
And are planning to destroy the entire towns.
Well,
By the way,
since she
I am
doesn't have
kind
any
of
money,
guiding.
all
I'm guiding Martin with me as I'm trying, and I'm whispering in his ear about my plan to use the dwarves to get the statue and so on. Letting Doc have a minute with the captain alone, or not alone, but a little further away from us.
I mean, since she doesn't have any money, all I've just heard was a bundle of new problems. So
I didn't ask you to do this job, you took it up yourselves.
keep guiding
Look at
Doc.
Gideon.
I keep guiding Martin away. Trust me, this is good. I've got an idea.
I hope this idea pays me handsomely.
If I ever let you down, don't answer that question. Let's keep going. and that does give Doc a minute if he wants to talk to the
Okay,
captain.
now I want to do an insight check.
Sure, what would you like to incite?
He's inciting me.
Yeah,
You believe me.
come on, give a 50-50 chance. Nah,
10?
deception,
I mean,
do it.
I'm
It's,
guessing.
it's more persuasion. It's not real. Yeah, Doc's got an idea. You know
I
that Gideon has an
really-
idea. He just doesn't know how good it is yet.
you realize he hopes it will be worth something, but he actually has no idea.
I don't know if it's going to pan out, but I think it's brilliant. That's why
you both know,
persuasion instead of
it
deception.
is very much likely made of charcoal. Stuff seems kind of important-ish. I mean, it's still got that, like, dark tint to it that was only present in the, like, the very large spines. Not in, like, the
It's been
small ones
carved.
that you guys got. But,
Someone
you know,
shaped
he's
it
unsure of...
without losing that. And that makes me think it's worth more.
Doc, was there anything you'd like to do, or was it just getting that beat up?
I think that was it for the most part. With
If you would, let's do it. Go for it.
If you wanted to give her an herbal tea or something. I'll be honest.
so the only thing that
Mark
could be
away.
prescribed is rest and less stress. But it's also reasonable to say that we took a lot of the workload off her shoulders.
I'll give you
Yeah,
more.
it's like they took a lot of workload, but you also just gave her more. And also a lot of stuff that she can't really deal with. It's far out of her pay grade and her training.
So, on regard of the Duragar problem itself, we plan to take care of that. Small heads up that this possibly might be because they seem to be ambitious, but with the Duragar you have here, they seem beyond redemption. There's something quite fanatical to them. Deal with them as you may. It's a jar of worms, I understand.
Speak
But
of... Oh, go on, sorry.
But at the very least, it's a jar of worms you can keep your eyes on, if you know what I mean.
Yes. It's definitely not the easiest to escape from themselves, like just quite warned. It would be the speaker's job to interrogate them, I guess. At least he seems to enjoy doing that. Gets a bit boiling under his blood. Is there anything, any way we would get in contact with you if we do find anything that may help you in this endeavor?
With a friend who has some forms of remote communication. Otherwise, there's sending letters or something along those lines.
This can be sent. Where should we send it to?
Have the ramshackle inn. Yes,
Yes, send them that way. May take a few days.
of course, we'll move on a lot, but in the next few days we might get around to seeing that place
If you
again.
do find yourself back, maybe stop by. See how long's it. Apologies for my broken seconds.
And what's the last part? Try this. I am a medical professional, not a 30-watch professional, but try to, watch out that you for your personal health. You're more useful to your people in working order. I know that this is not always possible, so
Brings a small smile to her face that we haven't seen in a day. I would. Thank you.
Also with Martin and the others, they can be quite forceful in their ways of negotiating, but they still are good people. Just have to find.
I don't blame them. I guess I'm just not used to it anymore. With the winter, everyone's just trying to deal with themselves a bit. Everything's just been hard lately.
It's hard on
Just sense. I can sense Martin's sixth sense going off. Going, what? He's a good person.
Money.
Sorry.
The other towns have, all their own troubles. We help where we can. We might be around here again. So
It's good. Guess I'll be seeing you then.
yeah. Take care and keep a watch over those guys.
I will do. And with that, what would you guys like to do?
Well, I know I'm out front of the town hall talking to Martin about my grand idea of having the dwarves come get this stuff and see if if they can learn how to meld it and keep the black inside. That might help us. I don't know. Running that idea through him, letting him understand what I'm thinking as far as might be a very good reward.
I mean, if you can get me a suit of armor, maybe. If I can sell it, yes. All it leads is to dwarves getting fucked over by the black stuff king. Then let's just not go this far, okay? You have
Think
my
positive
full faith.
thoughts.
Have my full faith that you will come up with a solution that will pay me in one way or the other. Otherwise, I will take care of that.
With that, let's once Doc joins us, I look at everybody. Shall we head back to the inn and get a night's rest and leave for Long Saddle in the morning?
That's it.
Don't you hate most places that are like in cities?
I'm kind of with her on this one. This place, you saw the captain. There's something wearing on people here, and I don't know what it is.
I
She's
think
poor as hell.
it's
How
the
you
nights.
say get late.
Like what?
I think Layla nailed it. Let's go, guys.
Keep
Well,
Blake's not
mostly
really
it's just-
understanding what
I
she
mean,
said.
Gideon, you, I know of moral values, you always seem to reach out a helping hand. How about you help this poor eager lady?
I don't think the captain would be interested in that. Although, she kind of liked Doc. As we're walking down the street, I'm like, she did kind of like Doc.
Doc, it seems like you have to expand your health practitioning practices.
Layla
Well,
kind of
in
looks
that
at
regard-
Doc and then is like, yeah, he alpha.
Just a lot of sleep and, less stress could also do the trick, in my humble opinion.
Or you just take a quick note for once.
With that, I
That's
think
not
we'll
how
go
it works. That's
back
not
to
how
the
anything
inn and
works.
crash out for the night.
Meanwhile, Marvin Gaye's sexual healing starts to
What?
play. As Doc and the captain.
No.
But with that, I guess we'll leave it for this evening. It's a good place to end this on.
Just as a
As all the
quick,
heroes walk into the sunset, laughing and joking.
just a quick note.
I mean, it's no sunset. The sun doesn't even rise. But
Over the evening when I have time to do that, my 4 hours, I need to copy detect thoughts.
yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Solid. Oh well, been a bit of I guess, an odd session tonight, a little bit. Doesn't feel like we've done a whole lot, but I guess it's just one of those RP sessions a little bit. I guess a bit nice after we've had those.
A lot done, though.
After we had those 2 dungeon sessions. So. Yeah. I guess one was done then. I guess I'm just so used to you guys playing almost like going to a new place every
I'll be right back.
session.
Alrighty, let's go raid someone. And find out who we're gonna raid. Who is online? Hope everyone enjoyed the show. Sorry I had to put it on follower only mode. I'm a little paranoid right now. Who we gonna raid? Let's go raid the THKs. He's unboxing. It looks like the Vox Machina stuff. Thanks for stopping by.
We got you.